This is Lyqa Maravilla, a registered psychometrician, a trying hard educator, motivational speaker, and author. And it's time for us to share stories, insights, and lessons as we keep trying hard to be better together. You're nothing but a second-rate, trying hard copycat. Now, if you're not familiar with that line, that is from Bituing Walang Ningning, which was first released noong 1985, years before I was born. It was written by Emmanuel Borlaza, one of the most prolific na screenwriters sa Pilipinas. And it was a line na sinabi ng character na si Lavinia, played by Sherry Hill, to Dorina, which was played by Sharon Cuneta, okay, the megastar. And a lot of people remember this line, and it's one of the testaments to how great the writing is sa mga ganitong classic Filipino movies. Pero more than that, it brought the line or the term trying hard to the surface. I think, and this is just my pure speculation, this is one of the reasons why in other countries, people who try too hard are called tryhards, pero sa Pilipinas, ang tawag sa kanila trying hard, no? Kasi sa line na ito. And last time, we talked about yung mga gusto ko sabihin to the Dorinas out there. Sa mga people na sinasabihan na sila ang second-rate trying hard. How can you be a trying hard without being a copycat? If you haven't listened to that episode yet, that is the episode before this one. And this one kasi, we're going to talk about Lavinia's perspective. Why do people feel the need to call other people trying hard copycats? How does it feel to have something you made stolen? And ano ang magandang pag-usapan tungkol dito? What should our reaction be? That's what we're going to talk about today. Alright, now something I mentioned dun sa previous episode, again, this is a two-part series, is a saying that I tell my students, which is, we all drink from the same stream. Ibig sabihin, we're all influenced by this general human collective consciousness, shared experiences, and that no idea is purely original. We are all influenced by everything na encounter natin in life, whether consciously or unconsciously. Okay? Arguably, pwede rin subconsciously, no? So, ibig sabihin nun, there really is no original thing. But, the moment that you devote your life into turning ideas into work, into something you wrote, an artwork, a painting, an expression, if you turn your idea that is in your head into something that you can be proud of, yung transition na yun turns you into an innovator, a creator, and someone who was inspired by other things but is now able to inspire other people. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt when people steal your work. And that is why I think it's important to talk about it sa magkabilang perspective. So last time, I addressed all the Dorinas. How can you protect yourself from people accusing you of stealing things? What you should do? How can you make yung inspiration and turn it into something else? How can you make it your own? But now, ang pag-uusapan natin, para naman sa mga Lavinia dyan. Para sa mga tao na ginagaya, ninanakawan, at na-discourage din when people build on top of your work. Now, here's something that's very dear to me, no? Kasi as someone who is putting up work out there, lalo na online, I've had so many people steal content na ako yung gumawa. And it comes in many forms. I've had people steal entire videos. I've had people download my TikTok videos, turn it into a compilation video and upload it on YouTube in the hopes that they gain subscribers and views para ma-monetize yung channel nila. So it's very sinister. They really steal content para magkapera. And sometimes when people report channels like this, I would get an email here and there saying na small-time YouTuber lang po ako, nagkaroon ako ng copyright strike or nagkaroon ng community strike because you reported that I stole your video. And they're trying to get me to turn back on that. Kasi totoo naman. And again, when someone from the team reports na ninakaw yung video, that is something that they do. Labas ako doon sa decision na yun, no? So, I know how it feels to have your work stolen from you, literally. I also know how it feels to have, say, an entire video na ginawa ko, my entire script, my entire spiel, kung paano ko siya tinuro exactly. Tapos, kinuha niya, na parang niretype niya sa isang script, yung video, and then, film niya yung sarili niya saying the exact same things, using the exact same examples, and even yung gestures, like the way I would point my hand sa left or sa right, gayang-gaya siya. So again, it's the exact content, video niya lang yung sarili niya saying the exact same thing. And that is another form of stealing. So someone stole my entire work. Yung kung paano ko siya sinabi, examples that I wrote for the video and stuff like that. So I know how it feels. And one thing that I want to raise here is that I feel that those who steal content from other people are usually people who don't know the work it takes to produce something of value. What do I mean by that? It's usually the people who don't know kung gaano kahirap mag-produce ng isang piece of content, or people who don't know what you had to go through in order for you to create something. It's those people who don't respect the process behind the scenes. So sa kanila, it's so easy to download something they didn't make, upload it and earn from it and own it, kasi nga hindi naman nila alam kung ano yung feeling na gumawa ng sarili nilang content. And I want to be fair in how we deal with this. Kasi nga, again, this is reality. I'm all for the now and then now what type of perspective. So I'm going to state things as they are, and then I'm going to talk about what do we do about it after. Okay? So when it comes to plagiarism, it really hurts. Okay? It really hurts kasi you put in so much of yourself in everything you do. And I use this analogy. Actually, high school pa lang ako, kinukwento ko na sa friends ko ito. No? I use this analogy na whatever I do in this world, whether it's an essay, a photo I took, an artwork, a sculpture, anything I make in the world, or the videos I have on YouTube, I put part of my heart, kalakip nung work na yon. So, I slice my heart, parang ganun yung idea, no? Para may visualization tayo. So, part of my heart, part of who I am, ay kalakip nung bawat work na yon. And then I send it out into the world, and that is a representation of who I am. And that is the reason why it hurts so much when people say bad things about the work I put out. And I think a lot of artists, a lot of creators feel the same way. Kasi kalakip nung bawat work that you present, yung pagkatao mo, yung puso mo, yung kung paano ka as a person. And because you're sending your work out with part of who you are na pwede mo nang hindi bumalik sa'yo, galing dun yung sakit when someone steals your work. Now, why is it personal to me? Kasi it happened a lot of times na sa akin. There were cases wherein may isang review center who talagang kinuha talaga nila yung work ko, yung book that I made, and then they started printing their own copies and selling it to other people. And it took some of their staff na nagsabi sa akin na ganun yung ginagawa nila for me to confront them and have them stop. And ang ano lang talaga would be, sa case ko kasi, of course, option kasi to sue them. Pero with me being a very private person and medyo powerless at that point, this was years ago, I couldn't do that kasi ako lang mag-isa and the team was just starting out. But ang maganda lang siguro doon would be, and share ko lang, no, after that issue, although hindi ko naman pinoblicize yun, hindi ko naman sila kinall out on public or on social media, they eventually closed for other reasons din. So again, yung pinaniwalaan natin na sinabi ni God na vengeance is mine, it really becomes true. Now, bakit? Kasi nga, again, people who steal usually dig a hole for themselves then. They cut off people sa lives nila, they hurt other people, so babalik at babalik din yung negative deeds nila. Pero again, this has happened to me before. And maraming beses na in many forms. And ano yung natutunan ko from this? Now, I want to stress this lang. Napag-usapan din natin in the earlier episode. Now, we all drink from the same stream. So, the first thing I want to talk to you, mga Lavinias out there na ginagaya ng mga Dorinas, we all drink from the same stream. So, hindi rin natin pwedeng i-eliminate yung possibility that because of the similarity in experience, in background, and in value, someone can produce similar content. Similar but not the same. So, hindi ibig sabihin na may quote ako na pinost, kunyari on Twitter or on Facebook. Tapos, a friend posts something na similar to that. Ginaya niya na yung ginawa ko. And this is something that I had to learn. Okay, I had to tell myself, and I still tell myself every now and then, kasi there were cases from people in my life na kunyari nagkaroon kami ng heart-to-heart, nagkaroon kami ng malalim na conversation. Tapos, the things that I would say sa conversation na yon, they would then tweet, or they would then post, or they would turn it into content that they post in their own YouTube channels or somewhere else. And I had to really take stock of the situation and understand na, okay, it is possible that they remembered these particular lines that I said, but they don't remember that it came from me. And because we all drink from the same stream and kung sabihin na natin, nagrima sa kanila yung line na yon, or it spoke to them personally, they just had to put it out there. So they were directly inspired by something I said, okay? But they didn't mean to steal it. It just so happened that the content emerged na similar dun sa exact na binigay ko sa kanila. Okay? And I had to tell myself that again and again. Kasi kung hindi, you would start feeling bad about every piece of content that you see sa mundo. Kahit na, again, there is a possibility that it is purely coincidental. Now, I'm saying this to you not because I want to diminish yung feeling kapag someone inadvertently steals your content or kahit na sinadya nila steals your content. Hindi yun yung purpose dito, no? Pero I want to protect you din from feeling terrible about people tapos hindi naman pala. As in, honestly, hindi pala talaga nila ninakaw sa'yo. Nagkataon lang that you had the same thought. And that is why your content is similar. So again, it is possibility. In the same way that we have to understand that may possibilities of our work being similar to other people without our knowledge or without our intending na nagayahin yun, it is possible that people also don't intend to copy your work. Kaya lang, yeah, we all drink from the same stream. Okay? My next tip for you is to ask yourself what inspired you in the first place. Medyo sumisegue yung first point natin dito sa point na ito. Okay? I want you to take stock of the things that inspired you to produce that specific piece of content that you feel is being stolen by someone else or that you feel was stolen by someone else kung tapos na yung act, no? Break it down and think, okay, sino-sino yung nag-influence din sa akin to produce this piece of content? Have I thanked them? Okay? Nakapagpasalamat na ba ako sa kanila? Have I mentioned them enough? Kung meron akong hiniram na quote dito sa buong content na ito, na-post ko rin ba or na-cite ko rin ba, na-tag ko rin ba yung person who originated this? Kasi if anything, if someone else steals your work, then it makes you feel yung same thing na posibleng na ma-feel ng mga people na nakakaramdam naman na parang ninakaw mo naman yung work din sa kanila kasi na-inspire ka sa work nila. So if there are people you know who said something that inspired you, that made you create this content, when someone else steals your work, maybe it's time then to think na, okay, baka pwede kong balikan yung mga mentors ko who inspired me, yung mga people who helped me write this piece, so I can thank them, so I can acknowledge them, so I can, kahit na papano, diba, give them credit for yung contribution nila to what I made. It teaches you how to feel something that someone else may be feeling against you. Kasi ikaw din, nagawa mo rin siya in your past. So again, that could be another thing that we could take from the experience. Ask yourself, what inspired you? Who inspired you? And because they don't call you a copycat, it gives you a different perspective. Diba? Now, this last piece of advice or this last point na I want to raise would really cut. And I'm saying this kasi before I was able to form this into a thought or into a sentence na i-share ko sa inyo ngayon, it really was a journey din for me. Sometimes when people steal our work, and again, lalo na kapag wala naman tayong ebidensya na talagang sinister yung plot nila or talagang kinuha nila. Pero when we feel that there is something being stolen from us, if someone has the same idea and then ran away with it and became more successful than you, if someone ends up building on top of your content and then doing so much better, how should it make you feel? And I would have to run through yung mga experiences ko in the past. I would have to also dream up scenarios in my head in order for me to be honest about my response dito. But as a bit of deterrent din, just in case that happens talaga sa akin, I have to confront my own feelings eh. I think meron tayong matututunan about pride when it comes to people not crediting you for the work you put in. Now, I'm not saying na don't sue people kung ninanakaw nila yung content mo ha. Hindi na sinasabi ko. Pero we can glean something off of the experience din eh. Ako kasi, and I always say this, diba? Everything is a learning experience. From the good, you learn what to do. From the bad, you learn what not to do. So, when faced with things like this, I try my best to step back, look at things objectively, and learn what I could. And one of the things that I learned dun sa process of people stealing my content or people creating similar content or posting a similar quote or anything like that is this. I have to check my pride din sa door eh. Kasi if people don't remember me, does it matter sa akin? Like, why am I so upset at someone turning, say, a line I said to her into a song, or turning a line I said to him into a full video on YouTube? Why does it sting sa akin? I think, and this is just me, I think it speaks a lot about pride. Now, if my idea, if something that I said, if something I put out there truly makes the world a better place, because, again, obviously, it influenced these people, kaya nga they came up with the content that they came up with. If my idea was out there, someone turned it into inspiration and made a similar post or a similar video, if ang end goal ko in saying what I said in the first place was to make the world a better place, hindi ba na-achieve din niya yung goal na yon? Diba? Whether my name is paired with the idea or not. Whether my watermark was plastered across that or not. If my idea made the world better, even without my name being associated with it, should I be bitter about it? When it achieved the goal, kung bakit ko siya nilagay out there in the first place, right? Na-achieve naman yung goal eh. It improved other people's lives. It just so happened that they wouldn't pair that accomplishment with my name. Which is, again, this is entirely my opinion, which is a rather selfish thing din, if you think about it. Being that whatever I come up with is a product then of what people invested sa akin. So, I have to be real about it eh. I have to really deal with it then sa personal life ko. Like, why does it matter so much sa akin? Why does it bring me pain? Why do I feel bad? Kung na-achieve naman niya yung goal niya, kahit na hindi nila sinabi na galing yun sa akin. 'Di ba? And by doing that, it saves me from myself. It saves me the pain of thinking about it again and again. It saves me yung negative energy din na magiging result nun. Because syempre, pag may ganyang cases, you couldn't let it go. Pero more importantly, it saves me from developing an altogether too high na observation about myself. It keeps me from being so prideful that I own things na hindi naman talaga truly akin. Now, whether you believe in the spiritual or not, whether you believe in God or not, sa akin kasi, as a believer, I need to credit all that I have to the original creator. So I really am nothing to start with. I'm just a tool. And sa entire process ng buhay ko, having so much pain and heartbreak happen to me, it's something that I had to learn the hard way. I had to be stripped of everything in order for me to be rebuilt. And building what I have right now, the subscribers that I have on YouTube, on TikTok, on all these social media platforms, I still turn to something I wrote even before all of this began, which is this line. I would always say this: Lord, let me be your instrument, work in and through me. So anything that I put out, I couldn't claim as my own. And that is how, kahit paano, I protect myself from being too prideful. It's purely God's grace. Kasi nga, again, ang dami ko ng experience in the past. So now, I can just move on along. Kung may nangyaring ganyan, I can move past it. I can just keep creating content. Babalikan ko yung video, yung example that I gave earlier. There was this girl who copied my entire video. So, ang ginawa niya lang basically is, siya lang yung muka, sinabi niya lang sa boses niya, pero the entire script was mine, the illustrations were mine, ganyan-ganyan. Tapos, it started on Facebook. Someone tagged me. Friend pa nga niya, no? Kasi naka for friends only lang yung video. Pero sinend niya sa amin. Tapos, gumawa na rin siya ng sarili niyang YouTube channel recently. And someone from my team, medyo gigil siya, no? Sabi niya, hindi tama yan. Hindi tama na ginagawa niya. Kinukuha niya yung content mo, di ba? Tapos ginagaya niya lang. Tapos sasabihin niya sa kanya. Kasi nag-aano pa siya, nag-field pa siya ng requests, no? And again, going through all of these emotions and the thoughts that I shared to you today, I told her, you know what? It's okay. It's not perfectly okay, no? Pero what do I do, di ba? If I acknowledge her publicly, it'll just bring more attention to her channel. And again, di ba, any publicity is still publicity, so I don't want that to happen. I don't want people hating her, which is even worse. And I know that is possible kasi with so many people who sabihin na natin love me or who respect my content, that is a possibility. I don't want to send attack dogs sa channel niya or to hurt her that way. So I wouldn't address it like that. Tapos sabi ko na lang dun sa team and to the people who reported her channel to me, I said, that's okay kasi there's plenty more where that came from. And what I mean by that is people can copy your work, like people can steal your work, people can do what that person did to my videos. Pero the fact is, because it's something I made, I can keep making more. I can just keep making more. And I can focus on the next video that I'm making. If I stop making content just because I'm so scared of the possibility that someone will copy my content, wala na nang mangyayari. Wala na akong ipoproduce. Because again, the world is a giant bubble. Sabi nga ni Salvador Dali, those who do not want to imitate anything produce nothing. So in many ways, whether directly or hindi, I also gleaned a lot or I got a lot from other content creators. I look up to Mr. Rogers, diba? Sesame Street, Batibot, Sinescuela, all of these educational shows that I grew up with or that I watched. Figures like Bill Nye, the science guy who creates educational content. And because I look up to them, of course, I learned so much from them then. They are still part of the content that I make. So, dahil nga walang purely original thing in the world, it makes me feel a little less, angry, a little less prideful then of the work that I put out. And because of that, I can focus my energy on creating more content. The time I could have spent tearing someone else down, I spend building my own network, my own platform, my own library of content. Because I have less time hating people for stealing my content, I have more time creating new content. New content that they would probably steal too, but will still reach so many other people. So I have to really go back to that. Like, if people don't remember my name, paired with this thought or this idea or this work or this quote. It's something that's unavoidable. It's something that's real. And even if I'm not 100% okay with people stealing my content, it fulfilled its purpose. It taught so many people. It reached so many lives. It's out there for the world to see with part of my soul in it. And part of my soul will always be there. I think we have to rework the way we think about our legacy as something with our literal name on it. Maybe part of our soul would live on sa mga people we influenced, sa mga projects that we made, which in turn will inspire other projects. Pero without our name being there, that's okay. Because yung soul, yung part of my heart that I mentioned before, na inilakip or inipit ko dun sa content na yon, even if people build on top of it, that tiny piece of me will still be there. And it will still exist long after I'm gone. Instead of something being stolen from me, I want to look at it as a seed that's planted. And something that could maybe be part of the entire stream. So what I took from the world, what I took as inspiration from other people who existed way before me, whose names I may never remember, I am just giving back to that same stream. So other people, long after I'm gone, can draw inspiration from that. And that's how I choose to look at it. So I'm not giving you the permission to go and steal off of my content. No, of course, hindi naman yun ang purpose nito. Pero for those who are like me, all the creators, the doers, the makers who put part of themselves out there and then have their work stolen, may this give you a little bit of respite, reprieve dun sa feeling of being wronged all the time. You matter, your work matters. And thank you for your contributions sa collective knowledge, sa library of thoughts, sa creative stream that would benefit the entire human race. Thank you. Thank you for putting yourself out there. So that's it muna. Again, I'm hoping na although this is a very particular topic, it speaks to you. If it does, please send me a message or reach out to me. Let me know if you have a question or something that you want me to talk about in this podcast. Again, in this podcast, I'm just Lyqa. I'm not Coach Lyqa. If you want a more personal look at things, you can message me directly sa aking Facebook account. You can just look for it. It's Lyqa Maravilla. So Lyqa Maravilla on Facebook. That's my Facebook page. Or you can tweet or post or anything. Basta public yan, we can find it using the hashtag trying hard with Lyqa. So trying hard with Lyqa, and we will find it online. Thanks for your time today, and I hope may nakuha kayo from this. And we will talk about more things soon, more things about what it means to be a try hard, what it takes to try hard in this life, and kung gaano ka-importante for us to talk about the difficult things and be honest with ourselves in our journey kasi hindi nakakahiya maging trying hard. Okay? And as we always say here when we end our episodes, dream big, start now, and hopefully matapos ang lahat ng ito with you caring less about what other people think about you. Thanks guys, and I'll talk to you soon.